What is up, YouTube? Hope you're having a really good day today wherever you are in this world. So first things first, I just want to say a massive thank you to those of you who have been following this channel, that are subscribed, that even just view the videos. I really do appreciate your patience. I hope you're doing well this Q4 within your publishing business. You're staying healthy in these crazy times. Essentially, as you may or may not know, this channel hasn't brought out any videos in the past few months since the start of November, and that's just because I needed the full focus for my publishing business over Q4. I've been doing a lot and learning a lot, so I can bring you guys a lot of value in my up and coming videos that are going to be more regular from this point forward. So you can look out for videos every Monday weekly on this channel. Of course, in today's video we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day. I know it's a bit further in the future. I'm going to address that in a second. Of course, if you do like videos like this one, be sure to like, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I bring out videos like this. If you're looking to get started in low content publishing, then feel free to check out my free 2-hour tutorial here on YouTube. It looks like this, and it is on my YouTube channel, and it should be linked on the top right hand side of this video as well. So go check it out if you are interested. Without further ado, guys, let's get straight into the topic of this video. So Valentine's Day, in summary, is celebrated on February the 14th, a little under 2 months from filming this video. And generally, the whole theme with Valentine's Day is love. So you may come to think of Valentine's Day as, you know, a couple's celebration day with romance, etc. But it's actually kind of more broad than that. As you will see with the niches that we find, it is just generally around love. So it could be the love for the kids to the parents, for example. So it isn't just specifically romance between couples, married people, etc. So do bear that one in mind. And of course, if you are clicking on this video and you're watching it in December, then give yourself a pat on the back, because the fact that you're considering niches this far in advance means that I believe you will do well with KDP publishing. If you're finding this video in mid-January and only considering Valentine's Day in mid-January, then you do need to be considering the seasonal niches earlier. So to explain this, we're going to be using a book that I found on Amazon. This is the Peppa Pig's Valentine's Day book. And I picked this book because it's literally a Valentine's Day themed book. So it can be a generic gift for Christmas, for Mother's Day, for example. And obviously it's a popular brand, Peppa Pig. Everyone knows Peppa Pig. So if we do scroll down and we go on to the 30-day graph, for example, you can see it's fairly steady here. And this graph just shows BSR over time. So the BSR, the bestsellers rank, the lower it is, the better. And as you can see, it's fairly stable here. But if we look at the 1-year graph, so we can see how this book performed in Valentine's Day last year, you can see quite quickly that there is a massive dip here. So since it's a 1-year graph, exactly 1 year ago today, you can see the graph was still fairly high, but it dropped fairly quickly. So 21st, 22nd, until the end of December, this book dropped in rank quite a lot. So what that means is it started picking up a lot of sales towards the very end of December. So obviously, if you're publishing books here for Valentine's, then you're giving Amazon the time to rank your book for the correct keywords, to show it to the correct customers, and therefore you can pick up sales, pick up reviews for your books as well. So by the time it gets to around here, which is the peak sales season for Valentine's book, then your book is going to be well established on Amazon. It's going to have a much better chance of selling really well. I do see a lot of people publishing, you know, in this region here, it'll be like the 20-something of January, 21st of January, 24th of January, they've published their Valentine's books. But by the time, you know, the keywords of your book are ranked on Amazon, it's going to be too late, and you've missed like the majority of the Valentine's sales. You missed this whole section here where your book could have been selling, and you only get to squeeze this little bit here out of your Valentine's book. So you do want to be prepared. The best time, in my opinion, is at the end of December for your Valentine's book. Now, having said all that, I'm not going to try and discouraging you from publishing your Valentine's book if you had one prepared for mid-January. By all means, continue publishing Valentine's until you see the sales start to taper off like this. All I'm saying is you want to be prepared further in advance for your book. So you want to start publishing in Valentine's from December. And if you've got books prepared for January, then by all means publish them, and you will still probably see decent sales. But I'm just saying they're going to be better if you publish them at this kind of time in late December. So having said all that, let's move on now to the niches that I had planned for this video for you guys. And first niche I'm going to talk about is the Valentine notebooks niche. Now, of course, like if we go up here, Valentine's Day notebooks, for example, you're going to see a lot of notebooks published. There's going to be a lot of low content publishers publishing notebooks. And if you do proper niche research, you can probably find some really good Valentine's notebooks niches that you can publish into. But honestly, this isn't a strategy that I would make my primary strategy for Valentine's. I wouldn't go ahead and make notebooks my main way of my income for this. So firstly, you can see that notebooks has over 60,000 results. In fact, if we narrow it down to new releases in the last 90 days, you can see how many books have used Valentine's Day notebooks in their keywords, and that is still over 50,000 in the last 90 days. So if you're publishing Valentine's Day notebooks, do bear that in mind. Obviously, you do want to niche down from Valentine's Day notebooks, and I do have good niche research videos on this channel. But what I'm saying and what my opinion is that notebooks shouldn't be your only strategy for Valentine's Day. Sure, you can publish notebooks. There's going to be some good niches within notebooks, but it shouldn't be your end-all strategy for Valentine's Day. You should be publishing other types of books as well. And that's what I'm going to be covering with the niches in this video. They're going to be different types of books, not just notebooks here. So of course, the first one on this list is going to be Valentine's Day coloring books. No list is complete without coloring books. Coloring books generally do really well for seasonal niches and make really good gifts for people, and they're always going to be in demand. And this is something that I've seen with Christmas as well. If you compare the amount of notebooks that I've sold compared to the amount of coloring books that I've sold over this Christmas period, I've sold so many more coloring books, and I have less coloring books than notebooks as well. So it's pretty telling that you don't want to be sleeping on these coloring books here. Now, this particular adult coloring book, if we scroll down to the BSR graph here, you can see it did take off. It started really taking off after the 9th of January here, and you can see a very nice rank all the way until the 12th of February in 2021. So this book was selling, 5, 10, 15 times a day for a whole month. So this is definitely a niche you want to be in. Of course, if we have a quick look at the keywords as well, let's just let that load. So obviously, if we have a look at the keywords here, you can see that we got the most relevant ones here at the top. Obviously, the search volume here is low at the moment, but remember, it's only the end of December. So for January and February, these will pick up a lot. But let me draw your attention as well. If I filter by search volume, you'll see a very nice keyword here for coloring books as well. You'll see, where is it? Valentine's books for toddlers there as well. So if you can get children's Valentine's coloring books for toddlers, then you're going to do really well, in my opinion, on this one here. And if you're wondering as well what kind of images you need to put in your coloring book, then we can have a look at this one for a rough guide here. You can see the kind of complexity of the coloring pages. With regards to the theme of the coloring pages, obviously it's difficult to think of themes off the top of your head. So if you need to brainstorm themes for your coloring book, you can go here onto this word list. I'll leave a link in the description below. This is the word list I use for pretty much every niche that I'm looking to publish in. But essentially it's just a brainstorm of all Valentine's related things. So look, a box of chocolates, for example. You've got Cupid, bow and arrows, balloons, flowers down here. different types of relationships and friendships, and all the kind of words that just go with it. So this is a very, very helpful site if you're looking, to brainstorm ideas for coloring pages for this kind of type of book. And if this is your first coloring book and you do want to make this book for Valentine's, then I will leave a link for a video on how to make a coloring book. It should look like this. Of course, it uses software called Creative Fabrica, which has a whole bank of coloring pages for you to use for commercial purposes. I'll leave the link for this in the description below. You can try it for just $1 a month. So the link is in the description below for this site. Now, the second niche is on the theme of Valentine's Day for kids. It's a Valentine's Day activity book for kids. So this activity book is kind of similar to a coloring book in the fact that there'll be quite a few coloring pages within the activity book, so that will make up a big portion of it. But there's also other activities for the kids to do. So you can see here in the title it says word search, connect the dots, mazes, I Spy, and much more. Now, I've seen a lot of videos here on YouTube on how to make these. I've done one on how to make a word search, but there's other channels showing you how to do a connect the dots, mazes, and I Spy. So you can pretty much learn everything to make this activity book. Again, you can also go to Creative Fabrica, which will have graphics for you to use for activity books on there as well. So go check them out. Again, if you're looking to make this activity book, you can see it was published on December the 30th of 2020. Probably for the Valentine's Day in 2021. So if we scroll down to this graph here, we can see that as soon as it published, it started doing well, and it did extremely well over the Valentine's period. You can see the BSR at its best was at 749 in the USA, meaning that this book at its height was probably doing 100+ sales a day, which is absolutely crazy, because before I even did this niche research, I always assumed that it was only adults that celebrated it. But this activity book for kids has done better than that coloring book for adults. So that in itself is very, very telling. So we can have a quick look at the helium-10 keywords for this book. And as you can see, we get a whole list of keywords that the book is ranked for and how many times it is searched on a monthly basis. Again, the numbers are low because it's December, but it's going to be a lot higher in January and February. So be sure not to sleep on this niche. So obviously there's this one keyword here that is actually higher than the rest, and it's got the highest supply to demand ratio, meaning there's the most demand for the amount of supply there is, which is good. And it's the I Spy Valentine's Day book for kids. So I'm going to show you this one for the completeness of this video, but it's something I wouldn't personally do because this term here is trademarked on the US government's website. So this term on the US trademark office does show up for a trademark, but it's also a generic term. So take that how you will. Do your own research. I'm not an intellectual property lawyer, so I can't really advise. My personal stance is when a phrase like this is trademarked, then I stay far away from it as possible, just so nothing can go wrong in the future. But like I say, do your own research. This niche on paper is a very good niche, as you saw from the helium-10. And if you have a look at the graph down here, then that really does reflect on the fact that it's a good niche in the sense that the BSRs are extremely low. So proceed at your own risk. If you want to know how an I Spy book looks like, you can have a look inside this one. It's a very simple concept. I Spy something little I, something beginning with A, and obviously the child has to pick which one of these begins with A, and of course that's going to be Apple. So on the next page they find out the answer, and generally it goes through alphabetical order as well. So a very simple concept for a book, yet very, very profitable. Now the next niche on this list is one that I've seen personal success with, and it is this book here. So the Love Coupons. So essentially the general concept of this book is that it's a coupon book filled with coupons for him to give to his partner. And generally these coupons will be something of a romantic nature, of a sexual nature. If we have a look inside without me saying too much more, you can see one of the pages here says a coupon day to sleep in, so the guy will give it to his partner and then they'll both sleep in for the whole day. Obviously that can lead to other things as well, but it's generally a gift for couples, for married couples, for boyfriends, girlfriends, etc. And as you can see in the description, perfect naughty gift for your partner. So maybe there's more sexual ones in there, like well, I can't really say it on this video, but I think you get the gist. And obviously if we look at the sales of this one, the graph is looking slightly different because obviously this could be a Christmas gift as well, so that's why the BSR is really low right now. But if we have a look at the 1 year charts, for example, you can see again a huge nice dip just before Valentine's. This is a very nice Valentine's gift for couples here, as well as a Christmas gift as well. So you've got the added benefit that this is going to be both a good seller for you in Valentine's and Christmas as well, and maybe a few other times of the year. You can see it's generally selling really well in the June period, in the July period. So yeah, this is a niche that I would very highly recommend. I've seen some success, not this much success, but some success with this one. And the final niche that I'm going to be touching on is this one here. So this one is a What I Love About You book. Now these types of books are extremely popular, and just like the last book that I described, this is also very popular at Christmas time. In fact, it's popular quite a lot of the times of the year as well. So in March it sees a nice little dip, even in June it sees a nice little dip there, but obviously the main market is Valentine's, and you can see that it sells extremely well over this Valentine period, again topping 50 to 100 sales a day at its prime over the Valentine's period. So the concept here is fairly simple. It's a blank book essentially with questions in there for the person to fill out and then gift to their partner. So essentially there'll be Valentine's related questions such as where did we first meet, what was our first date, what was our most romantic moment, for example, and then the person would then fill it out with their story and then gift it to their partner for them to read. And it's a fairly simple concept to make. If we have a look inside, you can see that you can easily do this on Canva, for example, yourself. Let's see if we can find the prompt. There are no prompts on this display, but it will look something similar to this border. There'll be the question at the top and a couple of lines for the person to fill it out. So this is something easily done. And of course we can look in the description as well, so it even gives you some examples. I love it when you talk about blank, so then the person will fill out where that blank is. If you're a dessert, you would be. So yeah, it's an imaginative book, and of course it does really well, as you can see. So by far a very good niche to be publishing in, and that kind of concludes the books that I will be making for Valentine's Day, the top niches here. I hope this video has been helpful for you. Like I say, a return to more regular videos on this channel. I will see you all next week. Take care, guys. Thank you so much for watching.